Hello, this is Amir from gourmet-like, and today we have another simple, exciting recipe. We're going to make stuffed veal breast. You can get this nice large veal from ShopRite. I always get it for like $5-6. Really cheap and great. All you need for this recipe besides the veal is the pecans, salt and pepper, Italian or French seasoning, usually comes with a lot of herbs, mushrooms, any mushroom works, you're going to dice it up, bell pepper, and olive oil. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to make a small pocket in a veal breast, because this is where we're going to stuff all our stuffing in. So just take a sharp knife and be very careful, because you don't want to cut on the outside and make holes in the pocket. Make sure you got a sharp knife. Dig in deep, all the way in. There you go. It should already have a little layer on top of the fat where you can just cut in. Make sure it doesn't penetrate the other side. So just slice across. This is what the veal pocket should look like. So you open up a nice little pocket like this, and we're going to stuff it. And we're going to wash our mushrooms. How I usually wash vegetables is simple. Throw some baking soda on them and run them under warm water. You know, just make sure you take off little spots and dirt from the mushrooms if you can. Throw them in warm water, scrub them, and stir them around in the baking soda. We're going to chop up the mushrooms and the peppers. We're going to fry them in the olive oil with the pecans. We'll crush up the pecans. We don't want them to be too big. Stuff them inside the veal breast. Put them in the oven. Now all we need is a little bit of pecans. Here we go, put them in the mortar. Take the pestle. See here you got the rest of your mushrooms and peppers all sliced up. We're going to put those in the pan. So do your job and crush these up. Not too fine, you don't want to turn them to powder. You're not trying to bake. Next step is we add a little olive oil to the frying pan. 1/4 of a cup. Doesn't have to be exact, but if you want a measurement, 1/4 of a cup. Next we add all our mushrooms and peppers. And you add the pecans. Now's your time to add the salt and pepper. Do it to taste. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Now you put in your Italian or French herbs. I use herb de Provence, but you can use whatever you want. Again, tablespoon or to taste. Now just frying for 2 to 3 minutes until the mushrooms lose all the water. Be careful because olive oil has a low burning point, and nuts as well. Nuts burn easily. So just stir it around a little bit. Make sure you're good to go. Alright, so the mixture is done. Now what I didn't add earlier was, you want to cook the mushrooms and the peppers for at least 2 to 3 minutes before adding in the pecans, because the pecans burn fairly quickly. So that's what I did right here. I'm going to cover them and leave them aside to cool down so I can work with them and stuff them inside the veal breast. In the meanwhile, I'll preheat the oven to 350, and I'll go ahead and start seasoning the veal breast. Now all you need to do with the veal breast is just put the salt and pepper and what we did for the seasoning of the stuffing. So a little bit of salt and pepper on both sides, and then the herbs. Once you season this, both sides, add a little bit of olive oil on it and spread it out. You can do it before or after seasoning, whatever you like better. Some people like to do it before seasoning so it doesn't push any out of the way. But the point is olive oil so it can get nice and brown when you cook it. You're going to flip it over. I'm going to add some olive oil here. Our next step now is to stuff it. It's very oily, the stuffing, so I like to use a spoon. So you just scoop it in, make sure you push it down. It won't tear, it's not a piece of paper. So hold it upright, start stuffing the stuffing in. You can do it with your hand, whatever is more convenient for you, but like I said, it's oily. It makes it hard to grab the breast when it's that oily. So you may not fit all the stuffing in, that's okay, you can put this on the side. You know how they have sides of stuffing. You can put it on the side. as for the veal breast, the best way to make sure the stuffing won't fall out is to take toothpicks, run it through the meat, and then you're sort of stitching the veal breast together. So this is what it's going to look like after you finished sewing it with the, of course I'm no doctor here, but this is what it's going to look like pretty much. And you're going to put this in for about an hour to 2 hours. Just check it, make sure it's the fork can go all the way through it with ease, it doesn't hit any resistance, and you should be good. So let's throw this in the oven and come back in later. So this is what the finished product should look like. Don't worry about the burn spot, just the olive oil. Obviously we're not going to eat that. So again, with the olive oil on top, it gets nice and crispy up here. So cut it parallel to the bones. You can see the bones down here. Cut it parallel to the bones. You have your nice little pieces, and you can slice them off to the side to make little cube pieces with the stuffing in the middle. Well, this is stuffed veal breast. It's a pretty simple recipe. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more simple and amazing recipes from lowcarbmaster.com.